guys, welcome to another video. So today I thought I would talk you through how I was diagnosed and like what happened, etc. Oh, Ajax wants to say hello. This is my dog Ajax. You gonna join the video? Okay. How I was diagnosed and what sort of happened and the process and everything leading up to it. So a lot of this information is information that I remember my mum telling me, or little bits that I remember myself. But yeah, so it might be a little bit patchy in places. I might not have complete accurate information, but I'll do the best that I can. So I was 5 years old. It was 2000. Yeah, 2000. And I was in reception. And I don't really remember, but my mum has told me that I used to come home from school and just drink. And drink. And drink. And drink. And then I started wetting the bed, even though I hadn't done that for a while. I was doing that nearly every night. I was getting really, really, really tired. I fell asleep at school, I think, a few times. And obviously my mum had noticed that something wasn't quite right. And she'd rung our doctors, and I think she had me booked in for an appointment in a few days or something, and I fell asleep again at school, and then they couldn't wake me up. Well, they found it very difficult to wake me up, and I think they sent me home. And by this point, I think this had been going on for a fair few days, or even a week. I'm not sure. But my mum was quite concerned. And so she took me straight to the doctors and insisted that someone see me. And so our GP saw me, and I vividly remember him saying to me when he went to do a finger prick that it would only hurt like a bee sting. I was 5. I'd never been stung by a bee. I don't think I ever have been stung by a bee. But that was not the way to make me feel better about you jabbing my finger with a needle. Ugh. But regardless, I can't remember what it was. Obviously, I think it was significantly higher than what it should be. And so he told my mum that she had to take me to the hospital, and to take me straight away, and to not let me fall asleep in the car on the way there. And I remember being in the car with my mum and her going on my arm constantly the whole way, and I fell asleep anyway. And I don't remember anything until waking up in the lift on the way up to the children's ward. And by that point I already had, I think, 2 cannulas in. I think they'd already started a slide and scale, so were giving me like small amounts of insulin and monitoring my blood sugars all the time. And yeah, I just remember feeling really rotten, and I didn't understand what was going on. I just wanted to go home. I didn't want to stay in hospital. I was scared. And I was in hospital for about a week, I think. And I was supposed to go home after a couple of days, but they kept me in a bit longer because I then developed chickenpox. And so I ended up isolated on the children's ward with chickenpox and brand new diagnosed type 1 diabetic. And yeah, I don't remember an awful lot of the actual time in the hospital. I remember them coming in and showing my mum how to do the injections and me screaming the place down because I didn't like it. I remember my brothers and my sister being taken off to a room to watch a video and then being asked if they wanted to experience what it was like to do a blood test. And one of my brothers hates needles and refused. And I remember my mum's friends like calling and sending messages and things to her to pass along to me. And my whole class made me get well soon cards, which I think my mum still has somewhere. And yeah, it was weird. And when I got home, bearing in mind this was 2000, so there were no insulin pumps and there wasn't really carb counting or anything like that. I was on 2 injections a day. I think it was Mixstar 20 and 30, I think. In syringes, because they didn't have insulin pens then. And being told that I wasn't allowed sweets anymore, I wasn't allowed chocolate, I wasn't allowed anything that had loads of sugar in it. And I took that as a personal offence, and therefore it was my duty to find sweets, find chocolate, hide it in my bedroom and eat it in the middle of the night when I thought no one would know, to the point where I used to make myself really unwell by doing it and didn't care. Now, hindsight is a wonderful thing. I regret doing that. And yeah, it was mad, because at 5 years old, you go into school and all your friends have birthdays and you go to birthday parties and they bring sweets in or cake and all these things that typically kids love. And I was then told, oh, you're not allowed any of that anymore. That's it. No more. None. And my 5-year-old self decided to rebel against that, as I'm sure plenty of other children have done and continue to do so today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Feel free to share your diagnosis stories in the comments below if you want to. I look forward to reading some of them. I know some people have got some absolutely amazing stories. Yeah, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you next time.